What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I often get asked by other indie developers, what is the magical blueprint for making money with their games? And the simple answer is there is none. While we should always follow best practices and principles, the results are not always guaranteed. That's simply because there are so many factors that influence a game's performance and whether or not it will actually make any money. So from my own experience, and also from talking to other indie game devs who also make a significant amount of money through their games, the number one piece of advice I can give you if you are struggling to make any sort of money with your games is that you always need to be optimizing. So what does that mean? It means you need to start becoming comfortable with analyzing the data from your game and acting accordingly in response to that data, and then doing the necessary changes to improve those numbers. So getting back to that point where there are so many factors that could influence the outcome of success for your game, you actually need to understand what you're looking at in terms of that data. For example, if you have a really bad day one retention, it could mean that you have a problem with your onboarding process and you'll have to go back into your tutorial and make sure that the player understands exactly what they need to do in the beginning to give them the best possible experience and hopefully to convert them into a paying user later down the line. You actually need to take a fine comb and go through all the numbers and find out exactly what isn't working, and then acting accordingly, changing that and getting a different result. So the only difference between someone who isn't making any money and someone who is that the person knows their numbers and they make decisions based on those numbers. So many times we get caught up with this whole notion of failure. And to me, failure does not really exist. There's trying and then there's giving up. There's no real failure because at the end of the day, you can always change something and you can get a different result. So the biggest takeaway from this video is know your numbers, guys, and act accordingly to those numbers. You don't only get one chance at an update. Apple doesn't have a regulation where it says you are allowed one update per year. You have multiple updates that you can apply. So take advantage of that, and eventually something's going to click for you if you follow what I just said in this video. Analyze the data, make tweaks and changes according to that data, which is much better than going in blind, and then you will get a different result. And like I said, something's going to click, and that was from my own personal experience. You can go to my games on the App Store and you can see how many updates I've done for the top ones. I mean, there have been numerous updates. Always trying something new. If it doesn't work, try something else. And then look at the data and then reiterate. That's the simple process that you need to do if you do want to turn your hobby into a business. And especially if you want to scale that business. Data is the key. So the biggest takeaway from this video, guys, in a nutshell, is please know your numbers and then make decisions based on those numbers. And I promise you, you will do no wrong if you follow those steps. If you are one of those people who are watching this video and you simply just say to yourself, I just don't understand what I'm looking at these numbers, it just goes completely over your head. Pretty much like me, a few years ago, I had no idea what any of this stuff meant. My advice to you is find someone who does understand it, even if you have to pay them, and then get that feedback and then apply it into the next updates. For me, I always try and get feedback from very experienced game designers who have worked for big companies before. They will analyze my game and provide me feedback, and I found that to be tremendously helpful in growing my revenues and things like that. So that's my best advice for you. Find someone who understands it and then pay them if you need to. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hope you found some value in it. If you did, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I try to put a video out at least once a week where I share my own experience of how I grew from 0 to 6 figures a year. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and peace out.